blue moon home.
Thank you, Vicki. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Beacon. My pronoun. Oh, sorry. Did something happen? Okay. Good morning again. Good morning. Welcome to Beacon. My name is Tuli Patel. My pronouns are she, her, hers. And today I am wearing a teal blouse with a black sweater on it. And I want to welcome each and every one of you warmly to this congregation. If you're watching online, please won't you take a moment to say hello in the chat. Will, our live stream expert. Will, can you pop out and just wave to the community so they know that you're actually there and it's not somebody named... There's Will. Hey, thank you, Will. Will is also on the Sunday morning chat, a person of many talents. There are a few announcements today. The weather gods have not been quite as kind to us as we would like, so our trunk or treat that was scheduled to be at 6:95 is going to be here downstairs. So table or treat, so you don't have to travel very far, just down the stairs. The afternoon music concert is sold out, which means that next year, or when's the next concert, Misa?
January 21st.
January 21st. It would behoove you to get your tickets before they're sold out. Yes? Excellent. Our Connecting series is going to be on November 5th. That's this coming Sunday. And did I get that right?
Yes.
You're taking pictures of costumes. Oh, I see what's happening. I love the costumes. Okay. It's hard to sit down when you're a blow-up dinosaur. Yes, I totally get it. The tail might get squished. The Connecting series is this coming Sunday at after the second service, and the Becoming series is the following Sunday, November 12th. I'm getting very confused between connecting and becoming until Reverend Robin remind me you can't become until you connect. So connect first and then you become, right? For now, I invite you to take a deep breath. Try and sit on your tails if you possibly can. Let go of everything that it took to get here this morning. Deep breath in and out, and let us be together in this sacred hour of worship. Welcome to Beacon.
Our opening song is number 1040. It's Hush. And I invite you to stand in any way possible in body or spirit and join in singing. Hush, hush, somebody's calling my name. Hush, hush, somebody's calling my name. Hush, hush, somebody's calling my name. Oh my Lord, what shall I do? It sounds like freedom, sounds like freedom. Somebody's calling my name. Sounds like freedom. Somebody's calling my name. Sounds like freedom. Somebody's calling my name. Oh my Lord, what shall I do? What shall I? It sounds like justice, sounds like justice. Somebody's calling my name. Sounds like justice. Somebody's calling my name. Sounds like justice. Somebody's calling my name. Oh my Lord, what shall I do? What shall I do?
Good morning, beloved. I'm Reverend Robin. My pronouns are she and her. I am a member of the lead ministry team here along with my colleagues. Woo, we're going to get through this. Dr. Thule and Reverend Emily. I am a short white woman elevated this day, thanks to heels, in a brick turtleneck. And my words are coming to you from our sanctuary in Summit, New Jersey, if you are joining us online on the ancestral and continued lands of the Lenni Lenape. We light now our chalice, which is the symbol of our faith, as well as our children's chalice, which will companion them to their small groups after our offering. Match calls to the flame this day, flame to the chalice, and chalice to the people. Across time, across generations, across continents and oceans. Love calls to the people. Life calls to the people. Hush, hush. The flame rises once more.
Woohoo! Oh, look, it's a Wonderbox day! Can I get a woo-woo? Is there someone who would like to help me, Jeevan, open the Wonderbox? Anyone, anyone, anyone? Oh, way in the back. Come on forward. Is somebody a little? Hold on one second. Can I get your name? Lily. Lily, do you mind telling me how old you are?
I'm 8 years old.
You're 8 years old. And what are you dressed as today?
I'm dressed as Slappy.
Slappy. Slappy. Well, Slappy, Lily, what do you think is in this Wonder Box?
Something.
Something, yes. I hope it's not nothing. Let's see. You want to open it up and see? What does it look like?
Something.
You want to pull it out? It actually goes with your outfit. You want to show it to everybody? So what do you see?
It's something that looks like what you use to catch the fish in the net.
It kind of looks like a net. That's right. It's porous, right? It's something that looks like what you catch a fish with. Thank you. Can we take this? Well, actually, you want to put it right there? On G. Yes. Thank you, Lily. You can sit down. Thank you for. Can we get a round of applause for Slappy? So, Shanti, what do you think this material is? Like, why is this filmy, flimsy piece of fabric, or what is it? What is it really?
Maybe when you hold it up, you can't really see exactly through it, but you can kind of see a little bit through it. So maybe it has to do something with seeing and not seeing. Like when you look through it, things don't appear to be clear, right?
Right. Or maybe the material is porous, and that means that things can go back and forth through it?
That's it. That's exactly it, Jeevan. You have to remind me of the date. I forget. It's the 29th of October, which means Halloween is how many days away? 2 days away. Woot. Halloween's 2 days away.
So, okay. So we're getting to Halloween through the porous fabric?
Sort of. Let's remember that the roots of Halloween go back to the Celtic festival of Samhain. Sow means summer and win is the end. So Samhain is literally the end of summer, the start of winter. Samhain was the end of the harvest and a time when the veil between the living and the dead was thinner.
Whoa. Back up. Celtic, what?
Well, let's ask our friends here at the Beacon congregation. What does Celtic mean? Anybody? It's a group of people. Where are they from, Kathy Menendez? Northwestern Europe. Something a little more specific? Wales. Somebody said they're from Celtland. All right, very good. So, Jeevan, from Northwestern Europe, somewhere over there, Wales.
Celtland. Okay, so now I know where it came from, like the country, but you said a lot of other things. Like, what was all that other stuff you rattled off?
So here in the Northern Hemisphere, the days are getting shorter and the nights are longer. Next weekend, don't forget to change your clocks. You get an extra hour of sleep. The harvest is done, and Samhain marks the end of the season.
But you said something... something about the living and the dead?
Yes, it's a time between it's a time when the dividing line between those of us who are still alive and those of us who are no more is thin. Now, we're not literally going to go back and forth. That would be really very strange. But it's a time for us to remember those who are no longer here. They were with us for a season to share, to grow, and teach us what we need. But the spring turns to summer, the summer to fall. The season together eventually ends. So we bring them back through our memories, those times that gave us peace or made us laugh.
Oh, okay. I remember now. It's like Mexico's The Day of the Dead, where they build altars with photos and items to help us remember what made their loved ones so special.
Yes, exactly. Or in Japan, where there is Obon, where ancestors are honored.
Shanti, I learned so much from you. But I have to ask, isn't all this talk about people who are gone a bit scary?
Well, maybe part of these celebrations, Halloween, Day of the Dead, Obon, is about facing our fears. And maybe what we think of as scary isn't really that scary.
Okay.
Maybe this veil, this flimsy, gauzy, filmy material helps us move from the place of scary to not scary, maybe, just maybe.
That makes sense to me. I really get that. Thank you so much, Shanti.
Thank you, Jivan. Here ends our time for all ages.
Every week, we have a check-in among some of the members of the Summit Interfaith Council to check in about Summit Warm Hearts, which is a program that we sponsor at the Summit Interfaith Council and Beacon participates in for folks experiencing housing insecurity. And this week at our check-in, the Summit Warm Hearts Day Coordinator and Beacon Board member, Missy Rogers, who I can see through the doors. Hi, Missy. She didn't know I was going to say this, so hi. Mentioned that one of our participants in the program had recently been in contact with a case manager and that things were going well. And she shared, in fact, things were going so well for this participant, we'll call him John, that he is going to have housing by December. Yeah. And all of us in the meeting had the same reaction that you've just had. And then when I came in on Tuesday, I was surprised to find a thank you note from John, thanking us for all that we've done. Some meals, clothes, a warm shower, and a connection to a case manager. And I stopped in that moment in the midst of all that is wrong in the world to just witness the generosity. John, who has been sleeping on a bench most nights with one eye open in fear for his safety, he took the time to find a thank you card and to write his gratitude. It reminded me of sudden changes, beloved, ones we would not choose, but in the quiet and the shock and the grief, if we pay attention, like that small note waiting on a desk, perhaps if we pay attention, we look and see across 18 years. And it's the biggest thank you note that we could have almost missed. A thank you in the pastoral care, in the sermons, in the marches, in the petitions, in the prayers, in the companionship, in the celebrations, in the mentoring, in the floorboards. A thank you. Sometimes the sheer abundance in the world is so interwoven, we almost miss it. But here at Beacon, we can see the light that we have had and have in this community. Here at Beacon, we see the abundance all around us and woven through us. And beloved, we cannot, even in the midst of grief, we cannot but give thanks. Our morning offering now for the ministries and outreach of this community will be most gratefully received. Thank you.
would like to call forward Sean Katz to take the chalice and lead the children out to their small groups, which will begin downstairs in Fellowship Hall. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Allison.
What wondrous love is this, oh my soul, oh my soul? What wondrous love is this, oh my soul? What wondrous love is this that brings my heart such bliss and takes away the pain of my soul, that takes away the pain of my soul. When I was sinking down, sinking down, sinking down, when I was sinking down, sinking down, when I was sinking down beneath my sorrow's ground, friends to me gathered round, oh my soul, friends to me gathered round, oh my soul. To love and to all friends I will sing, I will sing. To love and to all friends I will sing. To love and to all friends pain and sorrow mend. With thanks unto the end I will sing, I will sing. With thanks unto the end I will sing.
Good morning. And in the midst of everything, it is still a good morning. My name is Kit Stinson. I am one of the chaplains here at Beacon. Chaplains extend the spiritual care of our community by practicing deep listening, intentional compassion, and simply being there for one another. With so much turmoil all around us, in Gaza, in the West Bank, in Israel, in Muslim and Jewish communities around the world, in Ukraine, in Maine, in Mexico, in Washington, D.C., times like these are a big part of why we have a chaplain ministry in the first place. So if you think we can help, or you just think it might be a good time to see what working with a chaplain is all about, please don't hesitate to reach out to any of us or to the lead ministry team. I think we might have a couple of words to say about the lead ministry team. We might. As most of you probably know, our beloved Emily will be leaving Beacon at the end of November after 18 years of devoted service to this community. She's been called to an exciting new opportunity for spiritual leadership, and this world desperately needs her. The board, Reverend Robin and Dr. Tooley, will keep us all informed as we navigate the coming weeks, leading up to a final ritual of release and goodbye on December 10. So our first congregational candle this morning is a complicated one. You might picture one of the braided candles that are used either in Jewish observance or just for decoration. They're beautiful. There are 3 usually separate wicks, separate threads going through it, and the 3 of them bound together. So we light this candle of mixed feelings: joy, gratitude, sorrow, and love. Don't cry. Even as we rejoice with you, if you listen closely, you can hear hearts breaking. We light a candle for Lucy Vargas, whom you saw a few minutes ago, who has earned her own candle with gratitude for the generosity and joy she has brought to her youth group and to the children of our congregation. And we light a candle of support for all of the leaders at Beacon, especially Reverend Robin and Dr. Tooley and the board, and we promise to be of strength and service to them as they lead us through this time of transition and transformation. We light a candle of healing for Terry Polachuk, who had surgery a few days ago and expects to begin radiation treatment soon. We light a candle of compassion for Sylvia Walker, a member here at Beacon, formerly of First Unitarian Plainfield. Sylvia has entered hospice care. And finally, we light a candle of healing for everyone who is struggling with illness, pain, and fear. Not everyone is comfortable being named publicly, but when I ask people if they would like us to light an anonymous candle for them, no one has ever said no. In fact, a hug usually follows. So for all of these people, named and unnamed, and for all of these things, and so much more, I invite you to come forward now and light a candle here in our sanctuary or wherever you are.
We will remain seated for our next hymn, which is number 1002. It's Comfort Me. Comfort me, comfort me, comfort me, oh my soul. Comfort me, comfort me, comfort me, oh my soul. Sing with me, sing with me, sing with me, sing with me, oh my soul. Sing with me, sing with me, sing with me, oh my soul. Comfort me, comfort me, comfort me, comfort me, oh my soul. Comfort me, comfort me, comfort me, oh my soul.
The music is killing me. Oh. With each song, I just feel the well coming up. So I am Emily Bogus. I have the great honor and privilege of serving this congregation as on its lead ministry team with Dr. Tooley and Reverend Robin. And I've got one more month all right? I'm all here all month. My pronouns are she, her, and I am a tallish, crying woman with pink glasses, trying her best at a Halloween costume with a pink stole. A few weeks ago, I shared with a congregation in Richmond, Virginia, where I was preaching that true scripture for me comes in one form, and that is music. I know that for so many, it can only be found in bundles of ancient texts, parables, records, rules, commandments passed down from one generation to the next. Many say that those are the only pillars of the world traditions, world faith traditions. But for me, it is music. And I like to say, remember, there are songs in those scriptures. So on Friday, I was sitting in my office with Dennis Mannion and Sean, and they are the co-chairs of the chaplain ministry. Sorry, y'all, this is my second time through, so you'll hear. Dennis said to me that he would be here today for my final sermon, at which point Sean started singing, da-na-na-na, da-na-na-dun-da, da-na-na-na, da-na-na-dun-da. It's the final countdown, da-na-na-na, right? I mean, he might have said sermon, I don't know. And I just looked at them both and said, okay, no pressure, final sermon. So what I ask of all of you is that for this, bless you, for this final sermon, that we really keep our expectations realistic, okay? What I'm going for is not sucking. So first service assured me that it didn't suck. I think that is the quote of the day, it didn't suck. That's all we're going for. In all seriousness, I want to acknowledge and really thank Reverend Robin and Dr. Tooley for opening their hearts and offering me the space to speak with you today. Not to mention Tamisa, who had to change all of the music from the plan we had for this service. Thankfully, Misa, we didn't open with that 1980s Swedish metal band. Thank you. Instead, we really began with a sacred hymn. Hush. That hymn was sung at my ordination, which took place here in this sanctuary 17 years ago next week. Hush, hush, somebody's calling my name. Hush, hush, somebody's calling my name. Hush, hush, somebody's calling my name. Oh my Lord, what shall I do? It is, of course, a spiritual sung by enslaved Africans to hear the call to freedom, to liberation. And in order to hear the call of freedom, they had to face their fears. And in order to face those fears, they also had to pick up the song to sing to one another and answer the call to courage. And by singing together, we answer that call. Lord, O Lord, what shall I do? At my ordination, I was very naive to the meaning of this song. It was a spiritual from our hymnal that I simply loved. But I have learned that it was a song at that time about a call with a shared vision of a divinity that I could only hope existed, a divinity that took a liberating love and justice out from the center and to the margins into the shadows of our hearts. Reverend Kimberly DeBus writes that she learned about, and I quote, the deep call to freedom for enslaved Africans that these songs expressed, and how our singing, no matter how we identified, must carry that knowledge explicitly, recognizing that our own prayer must affirm theirs. Wow. Or as Shane Claiborne writes in Common Prayer, a liturgy for ordinary radicals, it is a song that interrupts injustice without mirroring injustice, the act of disarming evil without destroying the evildoer, the act of finding a third way that is neither fight nor flight, but the careful, arduous pursuit of reconciliation and justice. This song is about a revolution of love that is big enough to set both the oppressed and the oppressors free. It is a song about love, the audacious, justice-centered love, a universalist kind of love that this congregation sang to me throughout the 18 years I have served, that you revealed to me and dared me to have faith in. When we sing Hush, we are both being called into love by the holy ancestors of freedom and liberation themselves, and we are singing to one another, singing one another into that call, daring one another to face our fears and have the courage to believe that such a love is possible. Now, I want you to know that I heard this congregation's call long before I entered the doors on Waldron Avenue. I heard your call in the stories of your ministers, A. Pal Davies and Jacob Trapp, David Bumbaugh and Carol Haig, on and on. There's a list outside. You can read them. They were amazing. However, it was when I started working here in the summer of 2005 that I discovered that the spirit of this congregation wasn't in its ministers alone. The call was lived by its members. Hush, somebody is calling our name. I read about it and heard the story of the founding board of this congregation refusing to accept a minister's resignation during World War I. That minister who believed in pacifism and preached it to a congregation who did not believe in pacifism. And yet the board would not accept his resignation, saying that they believed in the principles of free speech and tolerance of diverse opinions. So though they disagreed, he was their minister. Hush, somebody was calling our name. This was a congregation that, when faced with a budget shortfall during the Great Depression, sacrificed paying for coal in their fireplace to heat this sanctuary through the winter so that they could invest in children's religious education, bringing the premier religious educator of the time, Sophia Lyon-Fahs. It is a blessing to hear those voices and hear those feet. Our ancestors placed that foundation here. Hush, hush, somebody's calling my name. Members here starting an overnight housing program for families facing homelessness, the first of its kind with other houses of worship. This was a congregation that was singing a call. That summer of 2005 was 3 short months after I graduated from seminary, and that first year that I worked here, I answered one question repeatedly: when are you leaving? Seriously, you don't believe me. When are you leaving? I've been here a long time, y'all. You had just had a year-long intern minister, so the congregation had naturally thought that I was an intern, and they were expecting me to leave, and soon. Actually, in the interview process for the half-time assistant minister role, I was up front with our minister, Vanessa Southern, and then president of the board, Marty Rothfelder, that I would only serve in Summit for 3 years. My husband and I had a plan, and that plan was to move in 2008 in order to serve English Unitarian congregations. Do you remember 2008? It was a financial catastrophe, and so that call never came, nor did the move. And instead, this congregation called me to grow and deepen. And in those first 3 years that I was here, I watched as this congregation answered that call of love again and again by acts of amazing fearlessness and courage. Instead of allowing an American war abroad to go unnoticed, this congregation did not turn away from terror. Instead, it honored lives lost, something that a congregation is here to do, not only of American soldiers, but Iraqi and Afghan soldiers and civilians. Each Sunday, ringing the gong as we witnessed the loss and writing their names on beautiful ribbons that hung from the pillars outside this sanctuary. And just as that 2008 financial crisis hit, the congregation was celebrating our 100th anniversary, 100 years. And we determined that we wanted to give away $100,000 in gifts and services to local and international educational organizations. And even though it was 2008, we did it. Lord, oh Lord, what shall I do? Having witnessed the love of this congregation come alive, I said yes. At the time, I remember hearing a neighbor of Beacon say, I've always wondered what happened behind those pillars in this small rectangle. And it was because while we were doing so many things in here, we really hadn't taken our ministry outside. And over the next 4 years, the congregation I watched stopped hiding. Our calling became public. Sounds like freedom. Somebody's calling our name. Suddenly, we were getting out of town, developing a relationship with public servants in Irvington, mayors and public officials, teachers and principals, creating partnerships. And for a long time, they called us the Ukrainian church. Because they had never heard of Unitarian Universalists. Remember that for the future, okay? They now know who we are. Somebody's calling our name. In the first year after marriage equality was won in New Jersey, we held free weddings for LGBTQ couples right here in this sanctuary, the first of which was the wedding of our own minister, Reverend Kim, and her wife. And if you're new to the congregation or you've just missed it, I hope when you go to the bathroom, you'll see along the wall the picture that Vic Rosenberg took of that moment. It was beautiful. Sounds like freedom. At the same time, this congregation was figuring out who we were and who we wanted to become. After a 2-year process, because nothing happens quickly, we all have to get together and talk about it and understand where we are and hear all the voices, we voted on a new mission statement. And let me tell you, the words radical inclusion were hard for many of us. But it was a vision into beloved community that would guide us, and along with it, a strategic plan forward. And then a dream came true. The funeral home next door was for sale. After people had told us for years that no, it would never go for sale, and no, they would never sell it to us. A 40-year dream of expansion became possible. And because we're so near Halloween, I want to tell you there were jokes at the time when we bought it that we were going to turn it into like spirits, and it would be a pub. We were going to do, pub ministry, a funeral home, spirits and spirits, blah, blah, blah. It was funny at the time. I did not deliver that well. Sounds like freedom. Somebody's calling our name. Spring of 2014 held an unforeseen disruption. Both our senior minister and the assistant minister announced they were leaving. And for me, it was that another moment of discernment. Prevailing wisdom from other ministers who I talked to at the time said that I should hand in my resignation, that maybe it should just be a clean sweep and allow the congregation to invite forward the leaders that they need. Or should I lean into a new call? Lord, oh Lord, what shall I do? Both Dr. Tully and I said yes. She as the new executive director after serving as the director of religious education, and me as a called minister. Both of us a part of a new structure, a lead ministry team with 3 of us there, with the hope of calling another minister to work with us. The only problem is that very few congregations had ever tried this model, and very few recommended it. In fact, they told us it would never work, just like they told us we'd never buy that building. And yet, we had more applicants for the new role than any other congregation that year. And we pinched ourselves for how lucky we were that Reverend Robbins said yes. I remember Mike Millspaugh, who had been a youth advisor with me and served on the search committee, turned to Robin and Tully and said, "Are you ready? Are you ready for Reverend Robin Tanner?" She's a powerhouse. And we said, hell yeah, Mike, we're ready. However, it was 2016, beloved. Our congregation's call was starting to shift, and it was a call towards justice, for the world was becoming turbulent with a capital T. In fact, on the week of our shared service of installation in April 2017, that's like a worship service. Installation is a worship service. My husband always says, are they like gonna pound you into the wall? Like what happens? I don't know, why do we call it this? But we were gonna have this big celebration of this new ministry. And that week, the president of the Unitarian Universalist Association, who was scheduled to speak at our installation, resigned suddenly amidst controversy over hiring practices and white supremacy culture in our association. And we actually considered calling the whole thing off. Is this a time to celebrate? Lord, oh Lord, what shall we do? It was the best celebration ever. Just prior to that, in the fall of 2016, hundreds of us and our partners at Fountain Baptist Church marched down Springfield Avenue raising Black Lives Matter banners as Reverend Robin, still in Charlotte, chaplained the protesters there after the shooting of Keith Lamont Scott. And we pledged that our banners would be more than banners, that they would be a call and a promise to reparations. Sounds like justice. Someone is calling our name. In the face of one very difficult presidential election for our country and ongoing elections, every election since 2016 has felt a little hairy, to say the least, from local elections to national elections. But it was a time in which many of you showed up here as new faces. New faces because you needed a faith community that would give you hope. Hope. And where you wouldn't be alone in being called to action. And was there ever action? So many of you sent thousands of postcards to voters. You turned up as poll workers, getting trained. You went door to door in your neighborhoods, calling people back to democracy. Somebody was calling our name. This congregation then laid the seeds for new ministry like Summit Warm Hearts and the Beacon Hope and Equity Center. We became a sanctuary congregation visiting immigrants in detention centers, and we were protesting gun violence again and again. And I remember, I feel like it has been more than 10 years, I remember saying to you all, I am not going to pray anymore. The violence has to end. And it's still happening. The call for justice continues. And then, as if that weren't enough, the world shut down as COVID swept through our world. And yet our ministries did not. In 5 days, this congregation learned how to completely recreate an in-person faith community in a digital format from our homes. We kept answering this question, what does it mean to show up when you can't physically show up? And my goodness, did we learn how to show up. Somebody was still calling our name. And then George Floyd was killed, and this congregation decided to take a deeper look at our own institutional racism, passing the 8th principle in an effort to accountably dismantle racism and oppression in ourselves. Not just out there, in ourselves and in our institutions. It sounds like justice. And as if that weren't enough, when it looked like this congregation's dream of expansion of a space that would allow us all to be together, when it looked like that expansion was going to fail in the zoning board, the American Red Cross building came up for sale. And suddenly there was an answer. We felt like we had room to breathe on a property in Summit, surrounded by parkland, just a mile from our home. Beloved, somebody is calling our name. In the midst of all of this, together we maintained the everyday sacred moments, the blessing of babies, of homes, of unions, of new members. We made meaning of our lives, our chaotic, turbulent lives, and we honored the losses of those we loved, whether their call took them in different directions or into the beyond. Here in this place and every place where Beacon went together, you called me into the blessing of love, an audacious, justice-centered love, a universalist kind of love, and you dared me to have faith in that love. You dared me. You taught me what this sacred song Hush is all about, that we have to listen for the call of the holy, and that we must also join in the singing, calling one another back to love when we feel like despair has won the day. It is a gift that I cannot repay. But that's not how gifts work. You don't have to repay a gift. Instead, you make promises. And so I make a promise to you in this covenantal religion built on promises. I will take your great love with me. Over the last 10 years, there has been a great toll on leaders, on faith leaders and justice leaders, corporate leaders. They are called, but so many are often going it alone. And my call is now to accompany them as you accompanied me, as you grew me, that seminarian, that recent graduate, into a leader. Lord, oh Lord, what shall I do? I will take your great love with me. But you have to make me a promise too, okay? Are you out there? Yes. All right, just making sure. You have to make me a promise because while there is sadness in this parting, it is also an invitation to open our hearts. Open our hearts. As my predecessor, A. Powell Davies says, when sorrow comes, let us accept it simply as a part of life. Let the heart be open to pain. Let it be stretched by it. All the evidence we have says that this is the better way. An open heart never grows bitter, or if it does, it cannot remain so. Anguish, like ecstasy, is not forever. There comes a gentleness, a returning quietness, a restoring stillness. This, too, is a door to life. Or as one 8th grader this week shared with her friend who was bereft at having to leave her friend. The friend said to her, "Our love doesn't go away. We take it with us." I ask that you promise to keep living into your call, because on Friday night at Plays by Neighbors, there was a visitor here, a visitor who learned about Unitarian Universalism for the first time. They had no idea we existed. Beloved, this cannot keep happening. I'm just going to keep giving you the stare. It's not right. Do not take pride in the fact that we are hidden and that we have somehow found this place. This place, this faith of abundant love deserves to have a song. Hush, hush, somebody's calling our name. Sing that song so that other people hear, so that other people can come in and let go of their despair and realize a love that they can be a part of. So I will tell you that the song Hush, there is a verse that we did not sing this morning, and I want to ask you to sing it with me. It goes, "I'm so glad trouble don't last always. I'm so glad trouble don't last always." Keep going. I'm so glad trouble don't last always. I'm so glad trouble don't last always. Oh my Lord, what shall I do? It has been an honor to accompany you on your call. I have nothing but gratitude. And I have no doubt about what you all are going to do, because you have these two amazing people that I have had the privilege of working with. You're in good hands because you have them and you have one another. So soon my call carries me in a different direction, and yours does as well. Be not afraid, beloved. Love is always with us. Always. Ashe, so may it be.
I invite you, dear ones, beloved, to join me in a bit of prayer. Perhaps prayer is not for you and you just said, uh-oh. Then join me in sacred listening, in the stillness to connect to the miraculous abundance of interconnections that touch all living beings. And if prayer is your practice, Then great love of many names, center us now. In this broken world where the foundations seem to have increasing fissures, where the children are the victims of endless war, of the guns we cannot seem to silence, and the hurt pours into the pain of Palestine, of Israel, of Ukraine, of Ethiopia, Libya, Somalia, South Sudan, Syria, here, closer in Maine, in Camden, in Patterson. Too much. Too much. Enough. Here, where the tremors of grief and loss resonate, here, called by one beloved, may we not close our hearts, but lean into that love which is our source and return. Here, let grief be the signal of the love that endures. Here, we listen for the abundance that has been so immensely given. Love beyond love. I invite you, if you're able and willing, just to continue in this prayer and to reach out and take a hand if it's near you. And if not, maybe to open palms, to extend blessings together to Reverend Emily. And I'm going to move the pulpit. It's a terrible way to pray. Dr. Tooley, would you come around? Emily, we give thanks for you, for the love you have embodied. We send blessings as well to your beautiful family, Gordon and Lucy and Alice. Thank you seems a paltry prayer for the companionship you have offered, the marching, the leadership in the Interfaith Council, the leadership well beyond the walls of this congregation and within, for babies blessed, homes blessed, for youth who have been honored in their transitions to find their voice and coming of age to cross that threshold as graduating seniors, for love that has been consecrated, for all of the weddings and the memorials, the honoring of life itself, for the mentorship, the partnership, the team, for grief held, transitions companioned, the abyss navigated with love and confidence. 18 years is the movement of a life from infancy to early adulthood. 18 years is a sacred number of life. And that kind of audacious and beautiful and loving ministry, it does not dissipate like the dew at dawn. No, it is woven in the floorboards. And it lives on in us. It endures. Your ministry runs deep. It strengthens the foundation, and it has kindled the light for the next generation. So love beyond love, beloved, in grief and in gratitude. We open our hearts to your call now. And we open our hearts to our call. Give us the wisdom to release you to this call, to discern in this weary and wonderful world how we will kindle the light as a beacon once more. Here in the silence, in the hush, in the holy quiet, we listen for that call as we send our love to yours. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Amen.
Some of the choir is here today to help me sing, and we're going to sing the words that were written 600 years ago by Julian of Norwich in a song of blessing. For all shall be well, and all shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well. May you be safe, may you feel strong, may you be lifted up in joy, may you find peace and be at ease, and may you blessed be. May you be safe, may you feel strong, may you be lifted up in joy, may you find peace and be at ease, and may you blessed be. For all shall be well, and all shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well. I invite you to stand in any way possible, in body or in spirit, and turn to hymn number 1010, which is We Give Thanks, as we sing all together and give thanks this morning. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day, for all gathered here and thus far away, for this time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day, for all gathered here and this far away, for this time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day.
We invite you to take hands with one another or reach out over shoulder. This is a responsive blessing, and your response is, oh, we give thanks.
Oh, we give thanks. Beyond this place.
There is, thanks.
No, do over. Beyond this place, wait.
There is a congregation, a community. Oh, we give thanks.
Beyond this moment,
There is an enduring ministry. Oh, we give thanks.
beyond this goodbye,
There will always be love. Oh, we give thanks. Amen, and blessed be.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you.
Circle round for freedom, circle round for peace, for all of us imprisoned, circle for release, circle for the planet, circle for each soul, for the children of our children, keep the circle whole. Circle round for freedom, circle round for peace, for all of us imprisoned, circle for release, circle for the planet, circle for each soul, for the children of our children, keep the circle whole, circle round for freedom.